they said, how do you approach land that has had deer drives through it many times? And then Wade asked kind of the same question: areas to look for bucks on public land after firearms season begins.
Mm-hmm. That's when that overlooked stuff really comes in handy, because I tend to find them in spots that people didn't get to. And if they get to everything, I don't think there's going to be much of any deer on there if they really chase. But there's usually something they're missing. I mean, I find little patches by the parking lots. I mean, it's the same stuff we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
But I actually, honestly, during gun season, I have always historically done better the end of the week than the beginning. All the really big bucks I've shot have been at the end of our gun week. I've shot bucks on opening day, but mostly in drives and stuff. Most of the ones I shoot sitting, I shoot later in the week. And I think the reason for that is the pressure puts them in the spots where they belong. The more pressure, the more they're in those little tight spots where nobody goes. You'll find them in those spots all year, but I think the more the pressure, the more the harassment, the more they're in those little overlooked spots. And that's what you got to figure out. You got to figure out where are those? I mean, I've always done well by looking at something and looking at everybody walking on and saying, well, everybody's walking right past this. And sometimes it's stuff right next to the parking lot has the biggest bucks. I remember a guy at work telling me that he goes, you hunt Rome Pond? I've been out by Rome Pond, which is where I live. And I was like, yeah, it gets pounded. He goes, there's some big bucks out there. I want to give that a try. And he comes out here to do a hunt, and he shoots this big buck. And this guy, I mean, he never shot big bucks. Some old guy that just walked around with a gun,
Yeah.
I was like, well, what did you do? How'd you accomplish this? He goes, I parked in the main parking lot, walked up the hill, cut into the grass, and it jumped up and I shot it. It was bedded like 50 feet from the parking lot. But nobody looks at the grass 50 feet from the parking lot, It's always those strange spots. And guys have it in their head that deer belong in a certain type of terrain, like the ridges, the woods, the certain places. And it's generally some little thick patch that everybody just walks around on their way to get to those places is where they're holed up, and that's where you got to look after pressure. And if there ain't those places, I would tend to think that there ain't too many good bucks on the property. They have to have some place to live where they don't get killed. A good buck is 4 or 5 years old. When you're talking all the bow hunters and the gun hunters that go through a public property, they have to find some niche where people aren't killing them in order to get to that age. If they don't find that niche, they die.
That's right. Yeah, if it was impossible to kill them during gun season, there wouldn't be any, 6-year-old deer, 5-year-old deer, whatever, 4-year-old deer.
Yeah.
So, or if it was if everybody killed them, I guess there wouldn't be any old deer. So they're there somewhere. And I don't really have room to like talk on this because Indiana doesn't have the hunters you guys have. But like, is it as bad there as what everybody says during gun season? I mean, is it pretty well just
pressure wise?
Yeah,
I think it's gotten better. Pressure's gotten heavier with bow and less with gun. Okay. It used to be just insane during gun season, the whole week. Now you see opening day is really heavy pressure, and then Sunday has like less pressure, and then the whole rest of the week seems to just be really low pressure where I'm at. It used to really, I mean, if you just go back 10 years ago, after Thanksgiving, our area would get even more pressure than the first week because all the guys would come back from up north for Thanksgiving, and then they just spent the weekend around the house. But I don't see that anymore. You just see this like opening day mentality for gun, but people take the bow hunting more serious. I mean, there's a lot of guys out here opening day, and there's guys out here throughout the gun season, but not as much pressure as it used to be.
I wonder if it is that like there's there's more serious deer hunters, but less of your casual deer hunters anymore. Like there's a lot of guys that take it real serious, bow hunters, this and that. But then the guys that, you know, the guys that used to do all that, I'm going to go hunt for 1 weekend a year and that's it. I wonder if those people are kind of either dying off or just getting old, and the younger crowd's either really into it or don't do it at all.
What
I
I
don't
do
know.
see for gun is like I see opening day, you'll run into a guy sitting in the middle of a 40-acre wood lot that's, you
Yeah.
know, mature hardwoods where he's never going to see a deer. And
Mm-hmm.
as you're walking past to get where you're going, you look around him, and in every direction you can see orange, and you think, you really think a deer is going to make it to you?
Yeah.
There's no place for him to bed in here. How's he even going to get to you? You know,
Right.
he has to run through gunfire to get to you, and you see more of the guys opening day and opening weekend that are set up incorrectly, that aren't smart about their setups, that are just wandering through the woods with a gun. And then later in the week, you start seeing more, you know, a lot less people, but the people you see seem serious, or they're taking kayaks out with their
Yeah.
gun, or they're going back
Right.
into thick stuff.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hey everybody, if you like the channel, make sure you subscribe right here. And if you like the clips, I got 2 more options for you. 2 options right here. Subscribe right here. See you guys.